Hello students, this is Miss Michaud here in Personal Finance, and I'd like to review the personal balance sheet with you. Remember that the purpose of the personal balance sheet is to display your assets, liabilities, and net worth. And as you remember, assets can be divided up as liquid, household, or investment. Liquid assets are those that can be easily converted to cash, such as cash or your balance in your checking and savings account. Household assets are those that you need for your home, such as your house, car, furniture, and investments are just that, stocks, bonds, etc. Liabilities are things that you owe, so short-term liabilities or current liabilities could be something that you could pay off within a year, such as your credit card balances, and your long-term liabilities are for 5 years or longer, such as a mortgage on your home, a car loan, or student loans. So here is an example of a balance sheet in Google Sheets. When you first create a Google Sheet, make sure you name it, but place your name up in the upper left-hand corner up here. Okay, so that I can recognize it. And then share it with me immediately. And you want to make sure that you give me commenting privileges. Okay. After you do that, you will be opening up your goals to begin with. And this is one document you've already created. And then you're going to add another document to it. And you can simply add a new sheet by clicking on this little plus sign right here. And that's going to give you a blank sheet with which to work. Remember, the first step in the financial planning process is to identify your goals. So it is my hope, my request that you have this document already completed. So on to the balance sheet. I'm going to review a few key points, and hopefully this video will help you. Okay. Here we go. So let's see. As you can see, this is one document that has several sheets within it, and you can name a new sheet simply by clicking on the drop-down menu and click Rename. So let me just find my personal balance sheet. There we go. So to rename, click here. You want to click on Rename, and then you want to call this balance sheet. So a spreadsheet consists of columns, which is vertical arrangements of information, and rows, which is horizontal, and a cell is an intersection of the two. So in this first cell, you'll notice that it spans across 4 different columns, so we need to merge. In order to do that, you highlight all the way across, and you go to Format, Merge Cells, Merge Horizontally. The other unique thing about this very first row is that it also spans 3 different lines. To get multiple lines, all you need to do is go to the end of the first line and hit Alt-Enter. Okay. So assets are merged and liabilities. Another thing is if you know something's going to be currency, such as columns B and D, you want to format it as currency. Okay, and the way you do that is click on the column letter and then click on Format as Currency. And the beauty of that is it'll change everything. It'll put the $ sign in, 1,000 separator, a period, and then if it's an even dollar amount, it'll even put in the cents. So let me just show you over here. Column E is not formatted. So if I just type in 8,500 for $8,500, it comes up as a normal number. If I format that as currency, it'll change and put the $ sign in, the 1,000 separator, and the period and 2 zeros. And that's really the way you want to format it. Please make sure that you use a 14-point font, and when you do that, you may need to resize a column. So click in between the cells at the top and drag to make them wide enough. So on to formulas now. This is a very, very powerful feature of spreadsheets. And the neat thing is the formulas for Google Sheets are the same as Excel and numbers. So you're really learning a critical skill here. So what we want to do is add up your total liquid assets. And we know we could do this in our head, and that's $4,000. But let's use a formula. So I'm clicking on cell B7. And if you click up here in the function bar, this is where you enter your formula. So I'm going to type in equals sum. And then it begins with the very first cell reference. So we want to start with cell B4. So we're going to type B4 colon, which means through. Got to use the shift for that. And then B6. So that's going to add everything up from B4 to B6. B4 plus B5 plus B6. There's no spaces, and it's not case sensitive. So when I hit enter on this particular formula, you will notice that the amount comes up, which is really good. So why use a formula? Well, things change, as you know. So let's say you have more cash now than you did before. So say you have 1,500. So I type 1500 in this cell, and notice that the total liquid assets also change. So that's important. Okay, that will allow us to do what is called what if analysis later on. So the other formulas for total household assets, we're going to be adding up cells B9, B10, and B11. So in B12, you're going to type equals sum, parentheses B9 colon B11. And see, these are adjacent cells. They're together. So moving on down to your investment assets, which you have a stock, and we know that's 3,000. There's just one number there, but it still may change. So in cell B15, you're going to type equals B14. Total assets are going to be liquid assets plus household assets plus investment assets. We're adding 3 independent cells. They are not adjacent. They're not side by side. So if you look up here in the formula bar, that will be equals B7 plus B12 plus B15. Okay, so that's it for the asset side. Coming over to our liabilities, we have total current liabilities. Again, a single cell reference. So in cell D5, you're going to type equals D4. Long-term liabilities. So in this instance, we didn't have any. But if we did, the formula would be equals D7 plus D8. And actually, I think this is a mistake. On the original sheet, you did have amounts here. Total liabilities is equal to your total current liabilities plus your total long-term liabilities. So we're adding 2 independent cells. We're adding equals D5 plus D9. Okay. Remember, net worth is determined by taking your assets and subtracting your liabilities. Can you guess what the formula would be for D11? Remember, total assets minus total liabilities. Total assets can be found in cell B16 equals B16 minus total liabilities, which is in cell D10 minus D10. That gives you 7,000. And then we need to make sure the balance sheet balances, hence the name. we want to make sure our assets are equal to our liabilities and net worth. If it does, we know we have most likely done everything correctly. So in this cell down here, D16, you need to add your total liabilities and net worth. Again, you're adding two cells, equals D10 plus D11. So this is a personal balance sheet. Again, make sure you name it. You share it with me. You name it down here. Okay, just click on the drop-down menu. Add grid lines. What you do is just highlight and click on this area here. That'll give you grid lines. Make it a 14-point font. Play with some of these fill colors and stuff. Make it look nice and also correct. You should be able to tell me the purpose of a balance sheet, what is on it, and also be able to use the formulas. And again, you could perform what-if analysis. What's really great about that, if you change one thing, other things will change. For example, let's say you pay off your credit cards. So we'll change that 2,000 to 0. Okay? You'll notice everything else changes. So we're really in pretty good shape here. Again, I think you want to make sure you look at your original handout. I may have inadvertently deleted the amounts for your mortgage and car loan. So hopefully this video helps. Please see me if you have any questions. I look forward to working with you. Thank you.